John chapter 21, verse 1 to 22. Let's see if we can read a few verses because of my time. John 21, verse 1 to 22 is the text. And if you can give me the New King James Version, that would be wonderful. I want it in the New King James Version. You know what? I think I have it ready. The New King James Version is here. After these things, Jesus showed himself. That means after all these things that have been happening, the confusion, that first of all, Jesus was crucified. Then he was buried. Then he had soldiers guarding his soul. Then the confusion that he resurrected. But he was not showing up to them. After these things, and you remember on Sunday I told you that the reason why you can stand to criticize some people is because you know how the story will end. When you are living through the story, you don't know how it will end. It becomes so difficult for you and for me to be able to understand because I had no idea. After everything is said and done, they were still confused, not knowing what to do. And Peter got to a point and said, wait a minute, we hoped that he was the one that will save us. Have you ever come to your life hoping that God will solve your issue by certain time, and then it didn't come to happen the way? At that time, that is when a lot of us find ourselves going back. But you and me know that we came to a point on Sunday, I stopped the message at where the Word, who is the Word? The Bible said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was, who is the Word? Jesus stood by the sea. And I told you that there are about 8 things that the sea represents. The sea represents a place of uncertainty. I'm not sure. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I take this course? Should I not take this course? Should I travel? Should I not? The sea represents that uncertainty that blows me in a wave. I find myself not sure, not knowing what to do. Can I go deeper on this? Some of us find ourselves, we are students. We're supposed to be reading. And then we find ourselves, maybe we say, can I just take a nap and read all night? Or can I risk it and not take a nap? Like a lot of us have done. You find students, I want to risk it and just sleep now. And I wake up in the middle of the night to read for my exams by the next morning. And then by the time you will be waking up is exactly the time for the exams. The situation, very uncertain. Number 2, meaning of a sea is a place of hurricane. A place where there is something called turbulence. Life is in turbulence. Whenever you are in sea, there is that turbulence. Oh, Shadabosata. A lot of us don't like going on the sea. And I don't know why. I was talking to my wife recently, I think it was yesterday. I have this card that gives us discount to go on cruise. And we've never gone on a cruise. I've had it for so many years. And my wife always still emphasizes, you can carry the kids and go. She said, I said, sweetheart, I said, you won't even recognize you are even in, it's a ship. But you see, it doesn't make matters easy when you start hearing of some accidents that happen, even the Titanic can sink. So you find yourself in a place of turbulence. What you thought was a strong structure somehow is shaking. And many of us are in those kind of situations in life where life is hitting us. Right now I'm talking to somebody who is going through that situation. Somebody is watching me right now who is going through that situation. Life is hitting you. Can I go deeper in this? Life is so much hitting you that I want you to wake up and pray and you don't feel like praying. Have you ever woken up and you know you're supposed to pray? When I even say you should call the prayer line. No, that's not what I say. We say you should even pray your own prayer, dummy. And you say, I don't feel like praying. If God is so good, you remember Gideon asked that question. If God is with us, why are the Midianites afflicting us? Pastor, if God is so good, if this is our year of fruitfulness, why am I still not carrying a baby? A place of turbulence. How long shall they keep on afflicting me? How long shall they say, where is your God? Because they taunt me and tell me that I don't go to church. and things are working okay for me, and you go. You are there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, morning, afternoon, evening. What have you to show? And then you say, God. Then David said, until I went to the house of the Lord, then I looked and I behold that they are on a slippery slope. A place of turbulence. Our faith is shaking. And that's why the songwriter came to a point in his life, and he says, oh, my comrade, see the signal waving in the sky. Oh, my, hold the fort, for I am coming. Jesus signals thee, where the answer back to heaven. You come to that place, and the real story of that was that the army was approaching, about to defeat them. There was such a turbulence created by life. And then all of a sudden they wanted to give up. But then they saw a white horse. And then they saw a white flag. And somebody wrote that true song. And it became a hymn. Could it be that that is the same thing that Jesus is saying? Hold on. Because sometimes when life hits you, you're saying, God, where are you? And then it reminds me of that songwriter that says, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus Christ and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest free, but wholly lean on Jesus. I say, even while every other thing is shaking, He's seeking some. Oh. And you get to that place where it looks as if everywhere you are. But what about a place of death, where some things that you love die? Because the sea is that place also, a place of destruction. When that person was standing waiting for his family to show up, he saw the sheep coming, waiting for them at the bank. And all of them just perished. And he said, when I saw it, while his family was on his way coming and they perished, he says, when peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever, my Lord, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. With my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. And I hear him say, though Satan should buffet, if trials should come, let this blessed assurance control that Christ had regarded my helpless estate, and has shed his own blood for my soul. Is well with my soul. The sea brought everything. Well, the sea is a place of prosperity. Well, the sea is a place of worship. You say, Pastor, how do you mean the sea is a place of worship? Because sometimes when you see the sea, you begin to just feel like worship. Oh, Lord, my God. When I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hands have made, I see the stars and I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe. Then sings I don't know how extreme it is, whether you are at a place of turbulence, a place of death, a place of hurricanes, a place of uncertainty, a place of confusion, anxiety, a place of worry, or you are at a place of prosperity, a place of worship, a place of serenity, because that's what the sea stands for. Somehow, wherever you are in between, I have discovered that sometimes when you can just, in the middle of it, just know how to just turn that place into a place of worship, maybe the word will show up. And the word Jesus showed up, and the word became flesh. And the word said, cast your net. Because they've toiled all night and caught nothing. And the word said, cast your net. But then I discovered that when the word came, the word did not just come so that they would get the fish and eat on themselves. It was told that Peter, they caught 153 mighty fishes. And that represents, in case if you're writing, that represents the multitudes of the nations. The groups of the nations that Peter and the church is supposed to reach globally. Everything was significant. And when Peter's, when Minister Lona, when he came and all of a sudden the word was standing by the bank of the river and the word said, cast your net. They obeyed, but never knew who was talking. It took somebody who was close to Jesus to know it was Jesus. And I asked myself, I say, oh my goodness, why did Peter not recognize his voice? And I began to ask, because the real Hebrew meaning of the word Peter is the one who hears. The real meaning of his name is the one, Simeon, is the one who hears. That's the real Hebrew meaning. But why is it that you are the one that hears, Pastor Kazim? And now, he's calling you but you don't know his voice. I'm wondering, have I ever been in that situation where I'm so confused because of life? Has life beaten me so hard, battered me and so tattered me that the master showed up in a still small voice and I've missed him? But thank God for a place of communion, a place of fellowship, a place where I can come to the church and I will hear the word, a place that can tell me, wait a minute, Samuel, the next time he showed up, I stand, say, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. And so when Peter showed up and knew it was the master, the Bible said Peter jumped out and began to I know some of you will consider the word naked, but I don't want to do an exegesis of the word naked, because the nakedness is not the nakedness of what you think. It's a different thing. But when Peter was swimming and Peter got there, the fish he made them catch, the fish they've been toiling for, based on the confusion that he couldn't even recognize him. And I don't even want to pause and say, are you hearing God? Is God calling you and you are missing him? Because you're so engrossed in what you are going through right now that you can't even hear his voice. And when he came to the bank, he said, Peter saw a barbecue of fish by the bank. Who caught this fish? Who lit the fire? And that the grill of the salmon is ready. I thought I just caught it. No, my name is Jehovah Jireh. I make a provision even before you think. And then all of a sudden, he told them, go bring what you caught. And where this got to me, where I'm going tonight, is when the Savior, the Word, said to Peter, follow me. This was the second command of follow me that we've heard. The first one was when he caught that fish. So, Minister Dami, what that means is that Jesus showed up. The first place he saw him was at the river, trying to catch fish, toiling all night. And the last place we know he saw him was when he went back. And then all of a sudden, that place, the first time he said to him, follow me. This last one, he said, follow me. We've never heard him say that again. Many of you are trying to listen to God's command. You're looking for God to speak to you. He says, speak, Lord. And God is not speaking. And he said, I thought your name is Jehovah Shammah, the God who is there and is not silent. He said, I'm not speaking because the last command I gave you, you did not listen. You're not paying attention. I gave you a command. You did not obey it. I don't need to speak again. And so, is it possible? Can you go back to what he said the last time? Is it possible I go back to what he said? He wakened me morning by morning, telling me what to do, but I did not do it. And he now says, follow me. That's another opportunity. I just denied him last week. Last 2 weeks. Last 3 weeks. This is coming to the end of the 40 days journey. And here he is telling me, follow me. Me? Yes. And when I started following him, my issue was, I still have some flesh issue that needs to be dealt with. Elder Asali, I've come to discover that even though I'm following Jesus, I still have some carnality that needs to be dead. You say, what are you talking about, Pastor? Yes, I just discovered as a pastor. I just discovered as an elder, as a minister, as a member, as a Christian. I'm following Jesus. I'm carrying my cross to follow Jesus. And yet I discover I still have some issues of jealousy. How? Because when I saw he called me, I thought I just want to have him just for me by myself. Not knowing that the same God that sent the rain to the righteous sent the same rain to the wicked. And I say, why is John following? And he said to me, I pray those of you that are playing with the baby are listening to the word rather than being distracted by what is distracting you. Why is it that John is following? Because I thought he just called me alone. Hello, Peter? Haven't you heard that he sent his word to Jacob, but he lighted upon Israel? Kukwa. So, in as much as you behold him as in a mirror is supposed to reflect. So why am I so full of bitterness when I see that God is blessing my neighbor? And I'm so concerned. God, I thought it's only me that should be blessed. Wait a minute. Why shouldn't I bless the other one also? The silver is mine, the gold is mine. Wouldn't it be good for all of us to have good cars? Why do you want to only be the one that has a good car? Why do you want to be the only one driving or flying a private jet? Why do you only want to be the only one having a good job? You are in that company. Shouldn't you let it open doors for some of us? Why will you be the only one that will come and tell us, I just want to thank God there are only 3 of us that are blacks in that place? Why should it be only about you? Like, shouldn't I know how to play the drums? Why is it only you that know how to play it by yourself alone? And who says it's only the men that can play? Even women too can play. Why can't you train? Yeah, as you are saying, the who, Emeka, shouldn't you also train some people? Ben, why do you always like standing up and doing like this? Is it only you? Like, can't you show it to the other ones also? My point is, do you know, it is very easy, very, very easy for us, when God is blessing us, we like it. But when we see God blessing another person, we're not happy. I don't know whether I should call it jealousy. Because you're already blessed. Why are you jealous? Are you jealous that God is blessed? You are blessed. So why are you jealous? Why is it that it's only your church that is doing program? Why can't other churches do programs too? Why is that when you see another person doing program, you are sad? Your belly is full of wonders. No, there are some wonders in the belly. He said, follow me. Minister Ayo, the first time he said, follow me, we saw, if you go back into the text, when he said, follow me, they are the same set of people that saw Andrew and called Andrew. So when he said, follow me the first time, they called. Why is it that the second time, you saw others coming and you are jealous? Why is it that you see somebody rising as a millionaire and you do every time you say he stole the money? If he's stealing, that's okay. Go and steal your own. That's it. Am I condoning stealing? No. But they tell you that stealing is easy. It means he has some things over here that he knows how to steal millions. The reason is because we so much want to downplay other people's success. You hear somebody, they see that you are becoming wealthy and you're becoming rich, successful. They say, oh, he's just lucky. If he's lucky, you too go and become Mr. Lucky. No, go and become lucky. Can't you just rejoice? I was having a session with our Connect team leaders because they're going to be teaching you on Saturday, this Saturday, by whatever time your team is meeting. I was having a session with them, and then we came into a place, and we're talking about suffering. Do you know that it's so easy for people to identify with you when you are suffering? But when it's time for your shining, people don't like identifying with you. Isn't it wonderful? Everybody, I've done this in this church. I've done it already. Everybody where you are seated right now, everybody, all of you from the front to the back, and those of you that are behind the camera, everybody lift up your two hands up heaven, quickly. One to go. Your two hands up to heaven right now. Please, I want to ask you, is somebody's lifting hand, is it stopping your hand? Is it stopping your own hand? How high your hand is going, or how high your hand went, is it determined or dependent on somebody else's? Put it down. The sky is so big for all of us to become wealthy, prosperous, and blessed. Why do you want to hoard it for yourself alone? Why? I'm doing a statistics and business, and I discovered that China is producing, right now, China has over 400 billionaires. China. They have wealthy people coming up, and they are not complaining. But you immediately see me come up with some money, you start to say, I stole it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Is it only you, Emeka? Because it's your birthday? Shouldn't some of us also have the opportunity to attend so that we too will take pictures? What I'm trying to say is that if you see an opportunity, why will you close the door for somebody else? Why won't you open it to someone? It is more blessed to. So Peter and Jesus said, if I desire that he should not see death, what is that to you? I just say you to do what? Follow me. At least I saw him following. If I don't want him to follow, won't I stop him? So all this fall and die that you have been doing, and they have not fallen to die. Why can't you change your prayers from fall and die to Father bless? And then guess what? As Peter started going, the Bible said, following Jesus, he asked Peter a question. Peter, thou son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than this? Now, the word he used, the Hebrew word he used in that place, is that, are you burning with passion? Do you have love for me? Are you really in love for me? How bad do you love me? Is the real Hebrew word of that word, love, is, are you burning, having a burning desire for me? Give me Songs of Solomon chapter 8, verse 6 and 7. Quickly. Songs of Solomon chapter 8, verse 6 and verse 7. Quickly, before I change my mind and move on. Songs of Solomon. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is as strong as death, jealousy as cruel as the grave. Its flames are flames of fire, a most vehement flame. Many waters can quench love, nor the floors. Many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floors drown it. If a man will give for love all the wealth of his house it will be utterly despised. When Jesus was asking him a question, he's asking him the question of verse 6. Is your heart burning? He said, how can my heart burn with Jesus, for Jesus? Yes, your heart can burn for Jesus. You say, how? Are you not in love with somebody right now? You don't go to bed at night for somebody. Some of you can't pray 30 minutes, but you can be on the phone for 2 hours. You're on the phone. Just because you're in love. And Jesus said, do you love me like that? Are you burning for me? Oh, let my heart be born with the things that burn for Jesus. Today we live in a society where love is no longer there. When I talk about love, I'm not talking about loving God. Forget about it, that we're not even talking of loving God, not to talk about loving ourselves. You say to me, Pastor, what are you talking about? How many of us can be in such a situation where we so love him, so in love with him, that we can do anything for him? Anything. We have the pamphlets for you to just go and distribute and tell people that Jesus loves you. Come to church. Some of you, your love is not up to that. You say, I don't know how to talk to anybody about Jesus. That's all right. We've made arrangements for you. We've got you covered. Mark the date, September 8th to the 14th of this year. There will be 21 people, 15 to 21 people are going to be coming to train us. And we're going to go out on practicals on how to win souls for Jesus. You say, I don't know. I know how to do it in Africa, but I don't know how to do it here. Don't worry. We have you covered. The church is taking care of that. We are doing that. But quickly, before I forget, you don't know how to say to somebody, Jesus loves you. But why is it that you are in love, you are in a relationship? Or that person you married, how did you marry the person? Those of you that are in a relationship, you can talk to somebody. Yeah, I just feel like chemistry. No, it's not chemistry. It's physics and geography and history and arithmetic. Maybe it's even Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo or Swahili. You can tell them about Jesus. He said, do you love me? What did Jeremiah say? I have a fire in my bone. I cannot keep I can't keep quiet. Hey, how hot are you with Jesus? Are you so hot that when you sit down in a place, when you are approaching, demons know you are approaching? There are some of us, I am not joking, I am being honest, I am not boasting in the flesh, I'm boasting in the Lord. As we enter certain places, as we are going, demons are leaving. You do not need to pray. They know you are coming. You carry fire. I carry fire. If you have genuine fire, sir, you don't put fire. Fire is contagious. And Jesus was asking him, do you have this fire? And he said, yes, Lord, I love you. I said, feed my lamb. Peter, lovest thou me more than this? And Jesus was using the Greek word of Peter. Do you love me without condition? Selfless love. Even if I don't answer your question, even if I don't save you, even if I don't deliver you, even if I don't, will you still love me? Will you still show up in church? Will you still be serving? Will you still be a workforce member? Will you still show up for midweek service? Will you still share my gospel? Even if I don't show up. Because I know you went to the sea because you were disappointed that you thought that I would have saved you by now. But instead of me saving you, I was crucified and now I'm not just resurrected. I've not just resurrected, but you hardly see me. And you say, I'm not even sure. Say, are you concentrated about what you see? Is that what it is? Do you love me more than this? That means, do you agapao me? Peter said, no. Lord, my love for you is a filial love. That means I love you based on condition. And then the last one, he asked him again. And Peter said, and each time he said, feed my lamb, tender my sheep, and feed them. And why is it that Jesus was giving him those 3 instructions? And the last one, Jesus repeated it in, do you filial me? I say, yes, I filial you, because that's my language. You have spoken my language. Why is it that he spoke to him 3 times? Please mark this down. How many times did he deny him? How many times did he ask him? It is for each time to remind him that for each denial you've denied me, I want you to be reassured so that the devil cannot come back and tell you that you have not paid your dues. I want you to know that I've forgiven you. And I want you to open your mouth and publicly express your love for me. And affirm that love. And just tell me that, yes, you love me. So if you do love me, you denied me 3 times, and 3 times I've given you the opportunity. But then another thing is that 3 times, because those 3 times were the 3 places, the 3 stages of where the gospel will be preached. First in Jerusalem, then Samaria, and then where? The Gentiles. And that is why Peter could say this in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2. The same instruction that God gave him, please give me 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2. The same instruction that Jesus gave him was the same instruction he gave to the elders of the church. He said, take good care of the flocks that the Lord has made you an overseer. Shepherd the flock of God, which is among you, serving as overseers, not with compulsion, but willingly, not for dishonest gain, but eagerly. That is for every one of us. Jesus came to the sea. You know why? Showed up at the sea. Because when Peter denied Jesus, did you know that even though Jesus forgave him, Peter still did not feel that he was forgiven? And do you know the reason why he went to the sea? It was because he went back and he went to the place of uncertainty, a place of turbulence, a place of death, a place of hurricane, a place of so many negative stuff. But then finally, Jesus now showed up that place and to tell him, I restore you. Now as I restore you, I want you to feed someone. Go and do likewise. Show mercy to somebody else. Love somebody else. Serve somebody else. Wait on somebody else. Minister to somebody else. Lift somebody up. Don't judge somebody. I came to the place where you are broke to let you know I can give you the fish without going to the sea. I can even make the barbecue. I can set it on fire. Don't forget, where did I deny him? Those 3 times. It was by the fire. I brought you still to the same fire. Start to tell the devil, you can have this one. The Lord sent me with this message, Jesus by the sea, to let you know that what you're waiting for, what you're looking for, you don't need to bother about it. And you don't need to go back either. He will make it for you. He will make a way for you. He will open heavens for you. He will send rain to you. He will bring harvest to you. He will do it without your effort. All he just needs you to do, don't forget, he gave you that command. Follow me. Be my disciple. And as you are my disciple, make disciples of others. Remember the message I preached 2 Sundays ago on discipleship. Make disciples of others. Let somebody see Jesus in you. Love someone. Talk to someone. The Lord told me today that I should lead you in a prayer. Because he said to me, so many of us are by this sea right now. But some of us are doubting it. And the challenge is this, Larit. We're not just by the sea. It's when you are going to the sea, you said, I'm going to the sea, and 7 people followed you. How many apostles do we have? How many apostles do we have? How many apostles do we have? How many apostles, Larit? I can't hear you. How many apostles, somebody? 12 apostles. How many followed Peter? More than half backslided with Peter. More than half backslided. 7 apostles followed him to the sea. Be careful who you follow, because you may end up where you are not supposed to end. I had that in my note. I was almost to forget that. Be careful who you are following. When I say, I go back, for you it's not going back, but never knowing that the enemy has a way of rearranging. And Jesus showed up in that same place. And do you notice that when Jesus was showing up, he didn't even bother about the rest? Who was he concerned about? Peter. You are that Peter today. Even though your name is Kefi, you are that Peter. Even though your name is Dr. Obiora, you are that Peter. Even though you are Muela, you are that Peter. Even though you are Princia, you are that Peter. Even though you are Ben, you are that Peter. And all he's saying is, I am here to meet you at your sea. You've gone back to where life has been, where you think you are used to. But I've saved you from that before. I've delivered you from that before. Why is a dog going back to its vomit? And all I want you to do is, can you leave all those? Just follow me. And I will make you fishers of men. Rise to your feet. I'm out of time. I want you to pray. Rise to your feet. And I will make you fishers of men.